Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Ben Sabatini, a member of the Standing Committee, the governing body here at First Church Boston, and we'd like to welcome anyone here that's either online or in person. I would like to give a special welcome to the visitors who are with us today, and we are interested in them joining us for a coffee hour after this service. To learn more about First Church Boston or Unitarian Universalism, please visit firstchurchboston.org or contact our interim minister, John Newhall, or myself during coffee hour. After a very busy week, this is a quiet time before New Year's Eve. So we want to say Happy New Year to everyone and look forward to seeing everybody in 2026. So thank you again for being here today, and let our service now begin.
Good morning. Welcome. My name is John Newhall. I'm one of your intern ministers here at First Church. Today is our annual poetry service. During the service, you're invited to share a poem from the chancel. And if you didn't know that this was happening today, that's a-okay. You're welcome in this service, whether you brought a poem to read, recite, or not. Whether you're here for the first time or you've been coming for years, we welcome you. Whether you've been a lifelong Unitarian Universalist or came from another tradition or have never set foot in a congregation before, we welcome you. Whether you find meaning and truth in faith and spirituality or you don't find those concepts useful or you're still sitting with the mystery, we welcome you. Whether you walked in, rolled in, or crawled in, we welcome you. And whether you're attending on site or online, we welcome you. Whoever you love, we welcome you. And whatever baggage you carry with you, we welcome you and invite you to set it down and settle into this place as we seek truth and love together as a community. In the words of Unitarian Universalist poet and writer May Sarton, we begin. Come out of the dark earth, here where the minerals glow in their stone cells, deeper than seed or birth. Come into the pure air above all heaviness of storm and cloud to this light-possessed atmosphere. Come into, out of, under the earth, the wave, the air. Love, touch us everywhere with primeval candor. Now we will engage in a ritual of lighting our chalice that Unitarian Universalist congregations all across the country and the world engage in on Sunday mornings. As we kindle this flame as a reminder that our community is holy. This is a sacred time, a time set apart for us not only to be with each other, but to be with ourselves. May this flame, a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, kindle in us a spirit of reflection, meditation, and soulful community. Please join me now in our words of affirmation. The words can be found in your orders of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now please take a moment and greet those around you, and waving to our friends online, If you're joining online, I invite you to text your fellow congregants watching online or your friends here. And please rise in body or in spirit as we join together in singing our first hymn this morning. It's number 17 in your gray hymnals, Every Night and Every Morn. The words are from William Blake, and it is set to Ralph Vaughan Williams' piece, The Call. For those online, the words will be projected on your screen. Now come to the part of our service where we have sharing of a story. So I have this book from a poem by Maya Angelou called Life Doesn't Frighten Me, with paintings by Jean-Michel Basquiat. Sorry, I forgot to, thank you, Basquiat. I meant to look that up before I came out here. Shadows on the wall, noises down the hall. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Bad dogs barking loud. Big ghosts in a cloud. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Mean old Mother Goose, lions on the loose, they don't frighten me at all. Dragons breathing flame on my counterpane, that doesn't frighten me at all. I go boo, make them shoo. I make fun the way they run. I won't cry, so they fly. I just smile, they go wild. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Tough guys in a fight, all alone at night. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Panthers in the park, strangers in the dark. No, they don't frighten me at all. That new classroom where boys all pull my hair, kissy little girls with their hair in curls, they don't frighten me at all. Don't show me the frogs and snakes and listen for my scream. If I'm afraid at all, it's only in my dream. I've got a magic charm that I keep on my sleeve. I can walk the ocean floor and never have to breathe. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Not at all. Not at all. Life doesn't frighten me at all. And that, again, came from Maya Angelou. Before we enter into our time of shared poetry, I invite you to join me in a time of meditation and prayer. Our prayer this morning comes from Reverend Wayne Arneson. O God, you surround us. In you we have our being. Help us to recognize the love that surrounds us. Help us to see ourselves as the loving people we are and can be. In silence now, we bring to our mind's eye the people who have loved us and continue to love us. People who are not here with us today, but whose love we carry with us. People who are there every day and whose love we sometimes take for granted. People who might be within our circle of love. Could we but extend it a little further? In silence now, we hold these people in our hearts. In returning from silence, we ask that our hearts may be open to all whose names and faces have crossed our minds, and that the love we share with people in our lives may be our abiding teacher. So may it be. Amen. I'd now like to invite us into our first round of poetry sharing. I'll get us started. Unfortunately, I'm a fan of epic poetry, so all my favorites are much too long to share now. But I'll share one that's really inspired me from the moment I first heard it at General Assembly a few years ago. It comes from Glenn Thomas Rideout. God is no noun, and certainly not an adjective. God is at least a verb, and even that shrinks her. God is not so much a woman as she resides in the improbable hope of brown mothers. God is not so much a man as he is at work in the memory of my grandfather's laugh. And God is not trans. God swims in the tears of the one who sees her real self at long last in the bathroom mirror. God is not black, neither is he white. God is waiting in the contradiction of songs from slave shacks, and I have seen God in the alabaster smiles of children at play. We're getting Michelangelo all wrong. God is not the bearded one surrounded by angels floating over the Sistine. He's not Adam with his muscled back pressing the earth. No. God is in the closing inch of space between their reaching fingers. Don't believe for a moment that God is Catholic. For God's sake, he isn't even human. Have you heard the wood thrush when the sun glistens the Huron? Can you see the flowers, how they speak to bees without a word? Still, God is no spring blossom, no wood thrush. God is neither the sun nor the bee. God is what you see in the blossom. God is when you hear the river and suddenly discover how much of it is a part of you. To be clear, God is not you. God is somewhere in the 14 billion years which have come to mean that you are. God is, after all, at least a verb. She is neither Pharaoh's rod nor Moses' staff. We must be the ones to cease our slavery. She is not interested in blame, and neither does she offer praise. Truth, gratitude are ours to breathe. She will not have your answers. She is too large for answers. She dances too wildly to be fastened to them, and answers are nouns anyway. God is at least a verb. Twirling in the radiant reds of spring blossoms, singing in the rare silences between rapid opinions, attending the tears of dark-skinned deaths, learning in tiny alabaster smiles. God is waiting in the space between fingers that might connect. He is waiting for us to stop naming her. She is waiting for us to see all of them. God is waiting to be unshrunk. Now I'd like to invite any of you who have a poem, one at a time, to come forward and share with us from up here on the chancel. We can also bring a mic down if getting up to the chancel it will be too difficult. Yeah.
My name is Mary Collins. I grew up in this church. This is a Christmas card to the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra. Can't can the sass. When Count Basie's band came to Manhattan from Kansas with their highly competitive jam session sound, coupling extended improvised solos with riff-based accompaniments from the band. They did the Roseland Shuffle in the Roseland Ballroom. In this time of wintertime, jubilee and celebration, choruses of angels must be shouting hallelujah over the sweet jazz coupled with low-down blues sensibilities at Jazz at Lincoln Center and their feast of downtrodden songs. When the outside becomes cold as ice, gotta keeps the music playing to carry over, to break through to springtime's rebirth. Only a trumpet can blast the chill. Only a saxophone can rumble the soul. Only the drum beat can wake up the dead, rouse the ancestors to cradle us again in the naturalness of our birthright liberty. To wail and to scream, to babble and coo, swaddled in sound. To trek with the perpetual motion of the bass that grounds us in history. Lord, dear Lord above, Spirit of love, Please look down and see the people through.
Wonderful. Thank you. Do we have another? Perfect. We have another coming on up. Yeah.
Let me get it back up again. I don't really need this, but it's never quick. Oh, well.
Right here is probably a good spot. Would you like a chair?
Well, after all that, I have a few simple words to share for the day. I heard a bird sing in the dark of December, a magical thing and sweet to remember. We are nearer to spring than we were in September. I heard a bird sing in the dark of September.
Thank you.
It's by an Anglo-American poet named Oliver Herber, I think.
By an Anglo-American poet named Robert Herber. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I would like to say my little Reno haiku. Poetry is to do and say the profoundest thoughts in the shortest way. Reno original. An example of this was Lawrence Ferlinghetti's memorial when San Francisco Mayor Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk were assassinated in San Francisco City Hall by Dan White. Lawrence Ferlinghetti, genius, poet, publisher, proprietor of the City Lights bookstore, said it rather well. Count the words used. 2 sweet dudes are dead, and nothing more need be said. I would also like to mention to everyone, I think poetry is mispresented in schools. Now, the poetry is preserved on the page, but unfortunately is confined and held hostage on the page. If you wish to understand poetry, read it aloud, which is how it is supposed to have been spoken. The example, one famous poem, "Once upon a midnight dreary, when I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. Do you hear the music involved? You don't get that on the page, but you get it on the stage." Let me recommend to everyone the classic book, Understanding Poetry by Robert Penn Warren and Clineth Brooks, which revolutionized the study of poetry and is a great poetic source for anybody who enjoys the printed word and how to study it. I should mention this particular book was recommended in a book on, of all things, counterintelligence. Why? During World War II, some of the greatest counterintelligence officers were the dons of English in Oxford and Cambridge. And how would that be? When they read the intercepted messages, they not only noted what they said, but they noted what it did not say. Something to think about. So I bid you adieu. Go make some good rhymes.
Thank you.
Law of gravity still in effect.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Good morning. I'm Barbara Martin, and we stand not only at the beginning of a new year, but at the end of one. and I'm going to read a couple of poems from Endpoint, which is John Updike's last book. These are poems written in the last decade of his life, and he died in January of 2009, just a few weeks short of 77. So they're poems by someone in their 70s, and that's the decade I'm in now, and that may be one reason that they speak to me. I also actually saw him in the last 6 months of his life in the restaurant at the Museum of Fine Arts. He was a member of the MFA. I'd seen him a couple of times before, but that time sort of seemed particularly connected. I heard later that he was there because he and his wife were attending the Wednesday afternoon lecture series on ancient Near Eastern art. So I like to think of him doing that in his last 6 months. I'm going to read a couple of his more lighthearted poems about two different kinds of tools. And the first one is called Tools. Tell me, how do the manufacturers of tools turn a profit? I have used the same clawed hammer for 40 years. The screwdriver, misted with rust, once slipped into my young hand, a new householder's. Obliviously, tools wait to be used. The pliers, notched mouth agape like a cartoon shark's, the wrench with its jaws on a screw, the plane still sharp enough to take its fragrant curling bite, the brace and bit still fit to chew a hole in pine like a patient thought. The tape rule, its inches unaltered, though I have shrunk. The carpenter's angle, still absolutely right, though I have strayed. The wooden bubble level from my father's meager hoard. Their stubborn shapes pervade the cellar, enduring with a thrift that shames our wastrel lives. And then the other is titled Death of a Computer. 8 years of stories, novels, book reviews, the daily grind. Someday it's going to crash, I was assured. And so, an insecure computer dilettante, I bought a new and tucked the old in an odd room where, when I plugged it in again, it took old discs and turned them into final printed versions, dark marks on paper safer than electrons, after all. The mechanism seemed not to resent semi-retirement. Today, it died. I think it died. First sign, a ghostly square imposed itself upon the text, like inappropriate behavior that casts a shadow on a gathering but can be ignored. Then, at the next command, black stripes appeared, bejeweled with tiny bits of shattered icons. It performed much as a one-time lawyer in a senile fit springs up to address the jury with the trademark flourishes and folksy candor. The pointing arrow then began to trail black pixels like a painter's dripping brush. Split second to split second, the monitor believed itself to still be making sense, while stripes and streaks and sudden twists transformed my tapped advice into a rapid havoc. Embarrassed by such a bright and hopeful garble, I, in a spurt of mercy, shut it down. May I, too, have a stern and kindly hand bestow upon my failing circuits peace.
Wonderful. We're going to move into our pause in the shared poetry and into our offering. Giving and receiving are sacred practices. Your presence online and on site is a gift. Your dedication and work in this community are gifts. We will now take a moment to gather our morning's offering to sustain the ongoing life of our community. Please give from the heart, knowing your contributions directly help our programs and community members. Now we will continue with our sharing of poetry. We have someone, it looks like, do we have someone else who wants to come forward? Yes, we do. Right up here, yeah. The mic does have a good range to it.
Okay.
So don't be too worried.
Everybody can hear me? Okay. My name is Heather Campbell, and I'm going to read a poem that I wrote that was published in something called Bagels with the Bards, which has been an anthology that comes out. It's been coming out for 17 years now. And I wrote this poem in a wonderful workshop that was held at the Cambridge Public Library at a time where they were doing a lot of programming for senior citizens, as it were. And the inspiration for this was a little calendar of flowers, flower for every month that I got, I think, at CVS. And it looks like I maybe went through August. So they're future verses I could write. My flower's self. I am poppy red amaryllis, my 6 petals out loud bold, brimming with confidence. I am bleeding heart flower. Each pink Valentine's blossom holds a droplet of ache. I am pure white calla lily. The plant does not require attention, although I long for it. I am red rose, velvet smooth and fragrant, perhaps prickly at times. I am orange trumpet vine, reaching beyond hummingbirds to have my voice heard. I am Canterbury bells, clusters of purple flowers, language for gratitude. I am daffodil or narcissus, bright yellow, a touch of orange, maybe narcissistic after all. And I am Chinese lantern, a light orange, delicate and hardy, or is it hardy delicate?
Thank you so much.
This is a relatively short poem by one of my favorite contemporary poets. Her name is Naomi Shihab Nye. She would describe herself as Palestinian American or Arab American. She's a contemporary of me, but she wrote this when she was much younger. It's one of her early poems, and she is still writing today. It's entitled Shoulders. A man crosses the street in rain, stepping gently, looking 2 times north and south because his son is asleep on his shoulder. No car must splash him. No car drive too near to his shadow. This man carries the world's most sensitive cargo, but he's not marked. Nowhere does his jacket say, fragile, handle with care. His ear fills up with breathing. He hears the hum of a boy's dream deep inside him. We're not going to be able to live in this world if we're not willing to do what he's doing with one another. The road will only be wide. The rain will never stop falling.
Thank you. We have another. We do.
Hi, I'm John Bergstrom, and these are 5 verses from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. There's a lot of verses, but these are 5 of my favorites. And I've been thinking about the order. I don't know about the sequence. They should probably be in a circle, like the shared values on the program or something. But here's one sequence. It goes, Ah, love, could thou and I with fate conspire to seize this sorry scheme of things entire, would we not shatter it to bits and then remake it nearer to the heart's desire? 2. Come, fill the cup, and in the fires of spring the winter garments of repentance fling. The bird of time has but a little way to fly, and lo, the bird is on the wing. Okay, 3. And much as wine has played the infidel and robbed me of my cloak of honor, well, I often wonder what the vintners buy that's half so precious as the stuff they sell. And 4, a book of verses underneath the bough, a loaf of bread, a jug of wine, and thou singing beside me in the wilderness, wilderness were paradise enow. And 5, the moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on, nor all your piety or wit can call it back to blot a single line, or all your tears wash out a word of it. Thanks.
Hi, is this okay? My voice good? I'm Peter Bonos. I see there are one or two people watching or listening who may not have heard all too much of me already. But I hadn't really prepared anything for today, but since we have time, I decided why not do something I've been wanting to do for a while now. I have 2 poems, both of which you may remember from one time or another. The second is by Denise Levertov. It's in our hymnal. We have at least occasionally used it as a responsive reading, but I'm not going to ask you to respond. But if you want to read along, it's number 648, Beginners. But what interests me is that a few years ago, when everything was remote and we were assembling an order of service from home, my friend Vivian Borak and I and the staff, the minister, the music director, it was a very complicated process. I had to find a text of the poem online that I could paste in to the order of service for the use of the people who were making the recording and anyone following from home. And I discovered in the wild, in its original context, it comes with an epigraph, a sort of preface that cites another poem, a stanza in particular, the second to the last stanza of Algernon Charles Swinburne's Garden of Proserpine, which I remember from high school when I was a kid, and it was a standard poetry anthology text, this stanza in particular, and it's the most Weltschmerzy poem that I know of in the English canon. It's, if you know the term Weltschmerz, it's world weariness, the pain of the world. And I decided, why not present that stanza plus Denise Levertov's response. So here goes. From the Garden of Proserpine, from too much love of living, from hope and fear set free. Proserpine was the Greek and Latin goddess of the dead, by the way. From too much love of living, from hope and fear set free, we thank with brief thanksgiving whatever gods may be, that no life lives forever, that dead men rise up never, that even the weariest river winds somewhere home to sea. And Levertov's response, beginners. But we have only begun to love the earth. We have only begun to imagine the fullness of life. How could we tire of hope? So much is in bud. How can we desire How can desire fail? We have only begun to imagine justice and mercy, only begun to envision how it might be to live as siblings with beast and flower, not as oppressors. Surely our river cannot already be hastening onto the sea of non-being. Surely it cannot drag in the silt all that is innocent. Not yet. Not yet. There is too much broken that must be mended. Too much hurt that we have done to each other that cannot yet be forgiven. We have only begun to know the power that is in us if we would join our solitudes in the communion of struggle. So much is unfolding that must complete its gesture. So much is in bud.
Thank you. I know we have at least one more. Yeah. And then one and then two. Or in the reverse, that's fine.
All right, well, this is not an original poem for me. This is not an original poem, but it reminds me of Sundays and the grounding that we all do with each other. And unfortunately, we have the extra burden of having a country that is not any of the things in our book. So we can figure out how to do it if we want to. But I have in 121, we'll build a land. We can either go through, the first stanza, or, I hate to get our musician involved. But whenever I sang it before the world was so black, I always felt good. I always felt energized. And I just wanted to be able to somehow give us some of that energy. So should we read the first stanza together, or do you want to play the piano? Yeah, there he is. Okay, good. And of course you know it, because we've done it a million times. So you'll be happy to know I probably won't sing. I might sing a little bit, but with all of you. So it's, page 121. We can just do the one sentence, or however you want to do it. First verse. I think you're going to be in charge of this part.
First verse.
Okay, the first verse, right. That's what we're doing. Thank you. Hug. You are ready.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Syria, and I'm going to read parts of this poem called Home by Varsan Shire. I'm also personally someone seeking asylum in this country, so it's very relevant to me and so many other people, especially right now. No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark. You only run for the border when you see the whole city running as well. Your neighbors running faster than you, breath bloody in their throats, the boy you went to school with who kissed you dizzy behind the old tin factory is holding a gun bigger than his body. You only leave home when home won't let you stay. You have to understand that no one puts their children in a boat unless the water is safer than the land. No one burns their palms under trains, beneath carriages. No one spends days and nights in the stomach of a truck, feeding on newspaper unless the miles traveled means something more than journey. No one crawls under fences. No one wants to be beaten, pitied. No one chooses refugee camps or strip searches where your body is left aching, or prison, because prison is safer than a city of fire, and one prison guard in the night is better than a truckload of men who look like your father. No one could take it. No one could stomach it. No one skin would be tough enough. The go-home blacks, refugees, dirty immigrants, asylum seekers, sucking our country dry, niggers with their hands out. They smell strange, savage, messed up their country, and now they want to mess up ours. How do the words, the dirty looks, roll off your backs? Maybe because the blow is softer than a limb torn off. Or the words are more tender than 14 men between your legs, or the insults are easier to swallow than rubble. No one leaves home until home is a sweaty voice in your ear saying, "Leave, run away from me now. I don't know what I've become, but I know that anywhere is safer than here." Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any, well, maybe one, we have time for maybe one more, if somebody has one. All right. Nope. Well, I have one more. I don't need to be double mic'd. This is called Still I Rise from Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns with certainty of tides. Just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Again, that is Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. Now, if you would please rise in body or in spirit as we join together in singing our final hymn this morning. It's number 288 in your gray hymnals, All Are Architects. The words are from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and it is set to the Tom Benjamin piece Woodland. For those online, the words will be projected on your screens. Please join me in reciting the words of our chalice extinguishing, which can be found in your orders of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. In closing, I leave you with a winter blessing from Rebecca Ann Parker, former head of Starr King Theological School, one of our UU theological schools. In the shadowed quiet of winter's light, earth speaks softly of her longing, because the wild places are in tears. Come, she cries to us, kneel down here on the frosty grass, and feel the prayer buried in the ground. Bend your ear to my heart and listen hard. Love this world, she whispers. Distill peace from the snow and water the cities with mercy. Weave wonder from the forest and clothe grief with beauty. Rest in the rhythm of the turning year. Trace the bending arc rounding the curve toward justice, and vow anew to do no harm. The winter trees stand watch, haloed in the last gleams of the slanting sun. Glory sings here, heaven echoes the call. Repeat the sounding joy. Make your life an answer. Bow, praise, rise. Go inspired, go with curiosity, and go in peace, knowing we wait to embrace you upon your return.
you.